documentary part 4 action. So back again, full time. We're going on. It's past trilogy at this point. So hey man, we got some good stuff. Great content, man. Great questions and great answers. So this part, this is very. I mean, everybody gonna love it. Everybody love love, right? So part 4, the husband. Right. So let's start from the top. Who are you? Why are we here?
Yeah, so Dre Hub, we here filming the documentary, and so I think today we're going to kind of talk about a piece of me and a piece of my heart. So yeah, the documentary DLC.
Yep. So all right, first question: how did you meet your spouse, and where?
So this is one of those stories that I think some women would have said, "Nah, I don't know. You know, I don't know about what they would have passed on me at that time." And so at the time, didn't have a job. I had a job. I was working at Jiffy Lube, but not a job to me, because at the time I wasn't full time. It wasn't a full time job. It was like whenever I get hours in. So working at Jiffy Lube, staying in Charlotte, I was sleeping on my cousin's floor. And this is that transition period from when I got laid off in 2008 and trying to figure out what's that next step for me. And so it's one of those things when you got no money coming in, whatever money you do have, you lock it down. And so I went to Charlotte and said, I'm going to go back to school, finish my degree. And sleeping on this floor. And so I had came back in town. So came back to Atlanta, met up with my homeboy Trey. I was trying to go get a tattoo. Really just trying to, had this tattoo, this idea I had in my head, and I wanted to get, a tattoo from Atlanta. And, my homeboy Trey has a lot of tattoos, really nice tattoos. So I was trying to, lean on him for his expertise. So we have been riding around for hours. Every place we went, everybody's booked. They can't get us in. And we ended up the last place, and they were closing. And so it wasn't just enough time. And so I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm about to hop back on the road, head back to Charlotte. And so we're standing out. My homeboy gets a phone call. The girl was like, hey, so what's going on? Where's, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm just waiting. Drake's about to leave. I was like, cool. And she was like, well, my friend, Q is here. Do you think, Drake would want to meet her or, see if he would want to come by? And so my homeboy was like, hey, man, you got this girl, you want to come by and see? I was like, no, I'm good, man. Because I was in a year of just abstinence, celibate, whatever you want to call it, trying to just figure out what I want to be as far as a man, a relationship, all of that. And then also, was getting over a girl, and I said, no, I'm good. I don't want to see nobody. And so I think she was like, oh, well, show him a picture. So he showed me the picture, and I was like, I think I can stop by for a little bit. I can stop by. And so, we head over to his house, and I walk in, and she laying on the couch. And I remember she had this like turquoise blue, like sundress on. Fellas, you know about them sundresses in the South. Woo! And she wouldn't even get up off the couch and say, hey. I was like, hey. She was like, they gave me like the head nod. Like, she just gave me the head nod? I just drove down here to see you versus going home? So I was like, okay, whatever. So then we went to my homeboy's man cave. We were still chopping it up, talking, because again, we're talking about decades of friendship, so we can talk all night long. And it was like, man, I really got to go after a couple hours. So I was leaving. I say bye. Still didn't get up off the couch. So, and then if she tells you this story is not true and it's different, don't believe her, because you heard it from me first. And so we walk outside, and again, we can talk. And so just reminiscing the whole time we're in the driveway. And then his girl comes outside, and she's like, oh, I thought Dre left. I was like, no, we just still talking. She's like, Dre, so what do you think of Q? And I said, she's stuck up. Because she was stuck up. She couldn't get off the couch. She couldn't say, hey, she's stuck up. She's like, hold on. So she goes inside. She comes outside. Again, sundress. She had a sundress on. She had her hair pulled back. I'm just saying, them sundresses get you, but they get you in trouble. So she comes outside, and for the next 30 minutes, my homeboy is telling Q about me. He's like, oh, he can do this, do this. He love God and all this stuff. And then his girl is telling me, oh, Q, she like this, she like God and everything. But me and Q ain't saying nothing to each other. And so they were like, all right, we're gonna leave y'all alone, and they leave. And then so we look at each other and it's like, so I guess we exchange numbers right now, because I mean they've been told everything about each other to each other. And so this was June 12th, and 12 is a big number for us. And so time goes by. I never hear from her and everything. And she what ended up happening? Oh, 4th of July. So me and my cousin, we fall out. And so I'm like, you know what? Me and my homeboy, late night, he's like, man, I'm gonna get all my stuff and come back to Atlanta. Not knowing where I'm going, because I'm coming back to Atlanta and be on my mama's couch. So we go, get my stuff, come back. The 4th of July, I'm tired. We dead tired because we did a turnaround trip at their house and celebrating 4th of July. Q shows up. This time she want to talk. We're gonna be all jittery. I don't know because she been drinking. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna blame on the alcohol, but whatever it is, it loosened her up. A situation happened, and I remember she ended up crying and running. I won't share the situation because I will protect, whatever. So as she runs away, some of the other guys try to go chase after her. I was like, no, I got this. Just like that, put my hand out. That's mine. And then I go running after her. And the next thing you know, she all snotty nose, crying. And she tell you it's not true, it's true. Snotty nose crying in the front yard, all in my shirt, my white tee. Now you can see all my chest hair and everything because my shirt is all soaked. And then as she stopped crying, we walk around. And then we've been inseparable ever since. I was about to go home. It was later that night. I'm sitting in my car, and it wasn't on purpose. I was tired. I was going to take a little nap. She rolls up beside me, and she's like, hey, so, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just trying to get a nap in before I head home. It's like, well, do you want to come to my place? I'm just saying, you can't invite somebody to your place. Now, I am going to protect her when I tell you the other part of the story. Because you invite her to her place, but she put me right back on the couch. I went from my cousin's floor to my mama's couch, now to my future wife's couch. And she goes in her room with a little negligee on or whatever y'all was wearing back there and locks the door. I was like, okay, well, see where this goes. And so that's how I met my wife, and then future 4, we've been together ever since, going on 14 years.
All right, so when you met her, she
yes, so funny story or interesting story. A year or prior, so I had this very vivid dream of me getting married, and but I could not see the woman's face or the girl's face at that time. I'm saying woman because I'm in my 40s, back then in my 20s. See her face, but I knew I was getting married. My homeboy was there, family was there, friends, but I just didn't see her face. And so fast forward, I want to say it's probably a little after that 4th of July. Had the same dream, and then I saw her face, and it was cute. So it was one of those things where it was always inside me. I just had to get myself right, and just be there at the right moment.
okay. So how did you propose?
Yes. So it was like those magical, I guess, New York type proposal. So Atlantic Station at the time, which is an area in Atlanta, in the Midtown West Side area. They do like this big Christmas tree and lighting the Christmas tree. And so it was so perfect. So I had got off work at the time, got there, had my ring, and I already told her mom, I already asked her dad for her hand in marriage, asked her mom and everything, her sister. And so their plan was to get her there. And again, she did not want to be there. It was just that whole mood of everything that was going on, not having a good day. And I'm standing outside the tree, and they bring her up the stairs at Atlantic Station, and she sees me, and she's like, "Oh, why are you here?" And so as she comes over, her mom brings her over. I then get down on one knee and ask her to marry me, and it starts snowing. It was beautiful. Again, I wish I had a photograph or a video of that moment. So she got down on one knee. She said yes, and all of our family and friends were hiding. And it was Copeland's, and I think it was a little cheesecake factory, smaller restaurant, and they all came outside and said, "Hey, surprise!" So that's how I proposed to her, and she said yes, which was the 12 comes in. We met June 12th. I proposed December 12th, and then we ended up getting married March 12th.
It's a great story, man.
Yeah.
All right, so marriage. What were the best time? What are the best times for you? The most difficult times.
Yeah, the best times is just those moments where we're just alone. It's just us, learning new things about each other, bonding, spending time, and then other best times is just the memories that we build, the friends that we bring together, all those bonds. The most difficult times is trying to bring two individual people together. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, you got this straight line. You'll never have a straight line. It's two people coming together, and you're out here far away. And as you continue to get closer and closer and closer, you then walk beside each other, but you're never on top of each other. You're never under each other. You're right next to each other, and there's two parallel lines because you're both still two individual people. The difficult part is when you're getting from here to those parallel lines where you're holding hands and seeing each other. It's those, and at times you can get off the parallel lines. It can go like this, and so it's like this straight line like this. And the goal is, how do you keep the straight line going, lasting longer than when you go and flow? Because things are going to change. You don't know who you are, and you don't know who they are when there's a death, a close death. You don't know job changes, career changes, money. You get more money, you get less money. Kids come into the picture, life changes, health, all of that stuff. You don't know who that person is or who they're going to be until you get in that moment, and that's when you go out here. But the whole goal is, how do you get back to being parallel? And so those are the difficult times. Is really, you forget that you're individuals. And so especially as a husband, it's like, hey, you're supposed to do what I said. You're supposed to follow me. I'm the head. I'm the head. But that's not really truly what a head does. A head is supposed to push the family to the right path. Push your wife. Push your wife. And that's the difficult part, because sometimes we can get in front of ourselves.
Nice. Well stated. What is the best advice that you give couples?
Yeah, the best advice I give couples is be friends. Just try to be friends as much as possible and have fun. Just have fun with you two as much. And the last thing is, just listen try your best to listen without feeling like you're being attacked. And then also speak to the other person without trying to attack them. And so it's always, how do you communicate from the other person's point of view? The more you spend time communicating from their point of view versus your point of view, the better you'll be able to connect and bond. Because a lot of times we try to present from what we believe and what we know and how we receive, not realizing that we're not receiving when we're talking, we're giving. And so we got to make sure that that person can receive what we're giving.
Last question. This is a great question too. And we're gonna say, do you have a favorite story from marriage from your spouse?
So there are plenty of them. It's a favorite funny story, and it comes down to, we were on a couples trip, and so everybody were all in the cabin, and we're going to go for a walk. And so our cabin is at the bottom of the hill, so we're walking up the hill. So my wife have a fear of bears. For whatever reason, she felt like she was attacked by a bear in a later life. She does not like bears. So we're walking, and it's like the hill, off of the hill is like nothing but like trees and leaves and grass and stuff. So it's just us, no other houses around. So all the couples are walking up the hill. The men are in the back because like, hey, we're protectors. We got our guns on us. We're being protected because, hey, we're not no fools. We're out here in the woods. We got to make sure we can kill something if something attacks us. And so we're walking, and you start to hear a rustle in the leaves. And it's like, okay, cool, let's just keep walking. You know, guys got our hands on our guns. And there's a time when the rustle get loud. My wife runs so fast, she left all of us. She left me. The moment I turn around, we're talking about half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away. As soon as I turn around, she at the house. She left me. In that moment, I felt, wow, I felt hurt, but then I also felt proud. Because my wife knows that when you hear a noise and someone runs, the black proverb is, if someone runs, we all run. I failed because I was trying to figure out, because I had my gun, my wife passed. So I felt proud that she passed and she made it home and she left us, even though she just would have been there without me. But it was just want to say that's one of the moments that pops in my head.